On Sunday, May 31st, Mr. Roeder left his motel room at around 9:30 in the morning. We have video of that, of him signing out and paying for his room. He then went to the church. He backed his vehicle next to a trash can on a far side of the parking lot, but basically made sure that he was able to get out quickly.
So Roeder is armed with his weapon, and then he sees Dr. Tiller come in, and then he sees Dr. Tiller leave by the side door. He got up and he followed Dr. Tiller directly out the side door.
You walk out the door and there is Dr. Tiller.
Yes.
He was right in front of you.
Yes.
And you took your gun and you took it had it out of your pocket and it was in your hand. Is that right?
Yes.
And did it appear that he was aware that you were there?
I don't think he was aware.
Okay, so you caught him unaware.
I believe so.
And then you took that steel gun and you put it at his forehead. Is that right?
Yes.
And when it made contact with his head, you pulled the trigger.
Yes.
And do you feel that you have successfully completed your mission?
He's been stopped.
Central County 911. Hey, somebody just came in and shot him in our church. Somebody shot someone? Yes, Dr. Tiller. Dr. George Tiller was just shot.
That Sunday morning, Dr. Tiller's staff passes the tragic news to each other by phone.
I called Joanne first, and of course she was devastated.
Kathy said they shot Doctor. I remember specifically Kathy said they, and that's exactly how we thought of it, they. We knew exactly who they were.
Then I called Dr. Sella, and I still hear her screaming in my ears, oh no, you're kidding.
I don't think I've ever experienced that kind of grief. It seemed so wrong that someone who was so incredible, so amazing, could be killed. For what?
During the murder investigation, authorities discover a piece of evidence in Scott Roeder's car that potentially connects him to Operation Rescue. When questioned, Operation Rescue President Troy Newman flatly denies any ties to Roeder or to the murder.
One of our phone numbers were found on the dashboard of Scott Roeder's car after he was arrested. And it was the contact phone number that was the information line. It was where people called to find out where the prayer vigils were, find out what time court hearings started, what time the rallies were. I mean, that phone rang nonstop and it was published on the internet. We're certainly not suspects in this case.
Nearly 6 months later, on January 2nd, 2010, the jury delivers their verdict on Scott Roeder. It takes only 35 minutes to reach a decision.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Scott Roeder, guilty of the crime of first-degree murder.
Roeder is sentenced to 50 years without parole.
Scott, do you regret what you did?
No, I don't.
Do you know if Dr. Tiller's clinic is still open?
I've been told that it's been shut down.
How do you feel about that?
A sense of relief, actually.
The family made the choice to close the clinic.
There used to be 3 clinics in Wichita, and now there are none. So patients have to go to either Kansas City, which is 200 miles away, or Denver, which is about 500 miles away.
What are these women going to do who are getting bad news this week? Where are they going to go? What if they're scheduled to go see Dr. Tiller and now they can't go? I can't even imagine being in that situation. That's horrifying.
If they don't get help from me, they're going to be sticking pencils into their cervix, or throwing their baby in a dumpster, or discarding their baby in a plastic bag on the side of the road. We're doing a legal, desperately needed service.
For those who worked and supported Dr. Tiller, a raw anger remains, though not toward the man who pulled the trigger. For them, much of their rage is focused on the anti-abortion forces in Wichita, who targeted Dr. Tiller for so many years.
The ones who don't carry guns definitely incite the ones who do have guns.
They gather all these people up, they fill them with hate, and then they stand back when the least imbalanced among them does something. They stand back and say they didn't have anything to do with it.
We never advocated No, you didn't. You advocated everything else. You put him up to hatred, contempt, and ridicule. And he gets killed. And you step back from it now and say, well, really, that really wasn't our intent. Well, what the hell was your intent?
It's the furthest thing from the truth that we were in any way involved in George Tiller's murder. We were shocked and horrified about it just like everybody else.
Wichita's chapter is closing in the history books. Summer of Mercy happened. All the abortion mills are gone. Tiller's dead. We move on to the next battle. We move on to the next villain.